Let's talk about one of the coolest action figures that you don't know about. That's right, we're getting into something a little bit different today. I gotta thank 5K Toys for sending this thing over to me so that you all could take a look with your eyeballs through the internet at this Atom figure. It's super strong. Now this box is solely for the purpose of protecting the product during shipment, which is good because when I opened it, I cut it. It's stupid. Atom. It's Atom. Again, this box, it doesn't matter. It's just for protection's sake, okay? So let's open it. Look at that. Is it a nude man? No, it is an action figure that is prepared for you to customize. That's right, this is a customizer's dream figure, especially if you're a comic fan, I would think. Why? Because this big beefy boy becomes anything you want that is large in the DC or Marvel universe. And this guy is a 1/12 scale, so we'll have to see how does it fit with other lines. No, how does it fit with other lines like Marvel Legends and Mayfex? Let's check it out. So back the box, you got some stuff. It's a comic book style, according to this. Highly sculpt detail. I like all of this so far. And here's some information that you might want to look at. Now, out of all the possibilities of this thing that you can use it for, as far as like customization, painting, getting soft goods, and then building your own guy with a cape or whatever, which actually, you know what? I'm gonna send this thing over to Rebel 10 Customs, which you can follow over on Instagram and get a bunch of custom soft goods from her. And look, there's all kinds of different things. But what I'm gonna do is hit her up and say, hey, look, I got this guy. I don't know what I need him to be. What can you build? Or maybe I'll have to bring some ideas. Like why put all the work on her? Anyway, so let's get it out of this plastic and take a little look-see and see what all we got. And if you buy your own, don't miss this little peg thing. Tells you what it includes, tells you some stuff, and you can go to, oh, okay, let's go to Atom 6-inch on Instagram. That is not the kind of name that I think any of us would type into Instagram to follow. So if you follow Atom 6-inch, you can get some extra ideas of the things that are coming from this line. So I guess this is them, right? They're making the Kryptonite Seeker, which you can also get off of 5K Toys. Well, he's a beefy boy. It's that one. There you go. So I don't even have to do the work. Look at that. You can see how he scales with a lot of different things, which is pretty sweet, man. He's huge. Okay, anyway, no more Atom 6-inch. Oh, God. Now, it comes with a couple of extra wrist pegs, and maybe that's just as like a, hey, because eventually this guy's never made again, but here's some stuff just in case later down the road you break something, which is actually pretty cool. Nice to have that. What do you get in the box? You get these hands, which is gonna be this one, which is kind of relaxed. Maybe you could use it to hold something like a cup or such. And then you get this one, which is a weapon holding hand, it appears. Or he's running for office. That's his political gesture. And all of these hands are very soft, which I think is a good thing. I think. So there you go with this one, which is a nice like gripping hand of like somebody's face because he's a big boy and he's gonna do that kind of thing. And then you get this one, which is a nice stop or my mom will shoot hand or, you know, a karate chop. But look at the sculpting detail on this thing. Wow. Really, really well done. On to the main thing itself. Now, obviously he's wearing some kind of underpants, or he's just a broken boy underneath. This whole thing is soft, by the way, so the chest, all of this is very, very soft. So I think that's gonna actually help with the posing and having like all these, whoops, these big muscles will not get in the way because you got this big old cool thing that's soft. But look at the details of this guy. That is an intense face. Obviously you only get the one head sculpt, but maybe there's some other things out there that you could swap parts around when you're customizing your own thing. But again, with the soft goods, you could build this guy into really anything, any big meanie out of the Marvel or DC universe. He could be characters that are like that. But the muscle work, the details, honestly, it's got this texture for skin, which is really nice. This is fantastic. You know, there's gotta be something special that I could do with this figure. What am I missing out on? What is my brain not telling? Hey, you know what could work is if you use that figure to do like figure drawing. Oh, you know, in college you have a figure drawing class and you have somebody in the nude that is sitting there and you have to sketch them out and draw them.
what do you do when you're not in college anymore?
Yeah, I didn't even think of that. That's actually a really good point, because I haven't had a figure drawing class since, like, well, let's just not say how many years ago.
Just saying.
All right, yeah, that's a great idea. Thank you for that. So there you go, folks. That's another great option, is to use this guy as an option to draw. What kind of peg is that? What works on it? I don't know. Let's find out. All right, let's take a look at a couple things here. We got a Wolverine. I don't know that these neck pegs are gonna work out, because look at that. That's a huge ball joint, but there's so many different versions of Marvel Legends. There you go. That's your big hawked out Wolverine. It actually kind of works because of how wide that hole is. You can actually just kind of stick it on there. Actually, it still works. And same thing with the Bishop, which is actually pretty sweet, which now is making me think this would be a really nice body to use for a Colossus. But maybe he's underscaled. I don't know. Maybe that's... The Bishop's kind of big. Next to Wolverine, it could be good. And if you have your own Johnny Nostalgia head sculpt like this, then let's see if that works. No. That neck peg is way too big to go with that. But now you have the most realistic looking Johnny Nostalgia of all time. Oh, instead of using that dinky little Tobey Maguire body. Jesus. And finally, you got your voided out Ninja Turtle that just didn't mutate the way he should have. As far as articulation goes, this guy is way more than you would expect. So he's got these huge joints underneath for these muscles, but it doesn't really limit what you can do with him. There aren't any butterfly joints here, but I think you're still gonna see some really nice range, especially in the backwards motion. Look at that. And this, because it's soft, actually looks more realistic. That's pretty wild. Double jointed elbows, which do pretty well. I mean, you have muscles that big, you can't really do much anyway. And then you get a ball joint on the wrist, which looks really good. And then look, he's got fists on by default. Again, this is just something that's like, you're either gonna have to swap out some heads, or you're gonna have to put some paint work into this thing, or do what I'm gonna do and use him as a reference point for drawing. Way better than those little stick boys that you saw in art class. The head articulation is pretty wild. Now the neck is soft, but look at that. That's kind of nuts. And it also kind of slightly reminds me of the guys from Prometheus, but not at the same time. Look at that crunch work. That's ridiculous. Oopsie. But he's got insane articulation. And then the legs to go out into splits, and then double jointed knees, and then ball joints on, well, some kind of weird ankle. I don't know what kind of ankle this is, but it works just fine, honestly. It's almost like a ball hinge, but it's something different. That's way better than like a McFarlane waist, thigh, whatever. You can rely on his extensive articulation to work really well even with soft goods, because sometimes soft goods can hinder your articulation, but I think this guy is going to still do really, really well. So you let me know. What are your thoughts? Look at those cheeks. Is this a figure that you're gonna get, and what are you gonna do with him? Are you gonna build him into a specific character, or are you going to use him to draw from? Well, there you have it, folks. If you enjoyed this video, then click that top one, have a little fun. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.